Hey guys, my name's Hailey. Welcome back to the Disney Cupcake channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make the perfect Disney display. Let's get started. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel as I will be posting videos every single day these next few weeks sharing Disney magic, ideas, and more. I've had a lot of you guys recently ask me about my Disney collection, and a lot of you guys enjoy looking at my displays in my room tour videos and everything, so I decided to make a video showing you guys how I create one of my Disney shelves. I have been doing this for quite a few years, learning what looks best and how to just create a really cute Disney display. So first I choose what display I am going to do. So as I said, I'm going to retire my Haunted Mansion shelf for now. The Tokyo Disney 36th anniversary is coming up in April, and just springtime just reminds me of Tokyo Disney. I don't know why. Everything just has a cute little vibe to it and just reminds me of spring, of all the colors and stuff that they use in their merchandise. So I'm going to be doing a Tokyo Disney display. So I have gotten out some of the merchandise I have for Tokyo Disney, and you're going to want to just pull out everything you have for whatever display you're trying to do. It helps narrow it down, get ideas of what items you might want to use and what items you have to use. I also want to make sure I get out my dusting things. I like to dust everything before I put it back away. That way whenever I go to put the stuff out, then it's already clean and ready to be put on display. Before I lay out any of this stuff, I have it all ready to go, and most of the time whatever I put away will go in the place of what I put out. So now that this stuff is all out of my closet, I'm going to clean up my Haunted Mansion stuff, put that all away, clean off the entire shelf, and then pull out all of my items. So this is the shelf that I'm going to be working on today. This is like a pretty big shelf. I know this isn't really like my desk area at all, but if you guys would like me to do a video of how I decorate my display case or another smaller shelf, let me know down below in the comments and I can make that video as well. Right now I have a lot of my Haunted Mansion pops laid out down here, so for my pop figures, I like to take a paintbrush and just dust them all off. And I put this Mickey tape on it, so I knew that this was for my room for dusting and not for anything else, not for any products or paint itself. This is what this brush is for. So I like to just dust all the items and then lay them all out. That way whenever I put them away, I don't forget something. I am going to be making a how to clean your pops video, how to display your pops, how to display your pops if you're running out of room, where to keep the pop boxes. I'll be answering all of those questions in a video coming up here soon. So if you guys have any questions about Funko Pops or my Funko Pop collection, leave them down below in the comments so I can answer them in that future video. So normally while I do this, I have like some solid Disney playlists blasting. You know, just getting the vibes happening. But I don't want to get copyright, so here we are in the silence. Also, since I have the TV in my room, I'll be playing like Disney Plus. I have watched the Imagineering story like 3 times. Highly recommend if you have not watched it yet. Then I just take a normal, just dusting towel, rag. And then while I do this, I dust off anything else that's in the area that is going to stay in my display or is always there. And that way I can dust the entire shelf. Alrighty. Another good tip, if you have a bunch of shelves above each other, like how I have this shelf up here right above this one, one thing that I've learned that is just, I'm probably the only one that's done this. I would clean this one, and then I would clean that one, and then the dust from that one would fall onto this one, and then cleaning it was for nothing. Has anyone else done that? Well, there's a tip if you haven't or are going to accidentally do it. The angles in this video are like so cool, not gonna lie. So since I did just dust this one, and I realized this one needs a little bit of dusting, I'm going to do this one right now also. See, this is how I fall into the trap of dusting for a day. Because I'm just like, oh, I should probably do this shelf too. And then this shelf. And then I do all the shelves. That way the next time I go to clean this shelf, but I'm not getting the one below it all dusty by rubbing it onto that one. Struggles. So I'll also show you guys how to do this shelf as well. So for my Vinylmation, like, smaller shelf here, right by my picture, it's like always the same, I'm not gonna lie. I put my biggest one in the center, or one of my favorite ones, which is this 25th anniversary light up Mickey Mouse one. It has more height to it, so I like to put that one kind of in the center, kind of puts your eye towards it, in the middle, and then I'll always put the ones I like the most around it, which most of the time ends up being these Disneyland or Disney World kind of special date ones, like this 40th anniversary one, or just these ones that have the dates on them. These ones are always on this shelf just because I think they're so cool. These are ones I always want to be seen, like, in the front row, so I often put those right here next to Mickey, but I set them a little bit farther back because then the attention goes to Mickey before it goes to those two. And then I'll place the other ones kind of staggered, then I'll move that set back up. I place some kind of ones that don't need to be in the front in the back, and then in front of those I'll put the other ones that I want to get noticed based on their color or just because. So that's just my little tip for Vinylmations. I like to stagger them out. Now let's get back to the shelf that we were supposed to be doing. So now I'm going to put my pops back up on their shelf. I'm going to take my ear hats and go hang them back up in my closet. And lastly, I'm going to go put the popcorn buckets back up on their shelf. So I always want a big item in my display, and the popcorn buckets always seem to become one of those items. And since I'm focusing on Tokyo Disney Resort, I'm going to want to get down one of my Tokyo Disney Resort buckets. Once I take a bucket down, I often put the ones that I just had up there in the spot that I just took these ones from. So I'll put Haunted Mansion guys away. And since that's a bigger area, I'm probably going to do more than one bucket just to help fill the space a little bit better. So this just kind of goes along with getting all of the stuff out that you need for your display before you actually set up your display. You guys can see here I have all the stuff kind of laid out ready to go, and now I am examining the area. Over time I kind of found the technique that I like to use for this specific display. This is a big area. You guys can see this big gap here. I really want to fill that. I want to make it look filled. I like to have the organized but like chaos look at the same time. Like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff, but it looks so neat. I am going to try to use the popcorn buckets to help give it height, since I have a lot of height with the lamp and the gap with the shelf here. I really like to try to fill this up so there's not a bunch of little things, because this is just going to look empty. And since my bed's right here, if you're standing in another part of my room looking over and there's a bunch of little things, you won't be able to see them at all. So this is where a lot of my bigger stuff ends up going, just so you can see it from anywhere in my room. So now I know my theme. I know my topic I'm going for, Tokyo Disney, and I know Pixar Playtime is currently happening right now, so I'm probably going to end up using just these two popcorn buckets for height in this shelf. So I'm going to have those guys out, and then I'm going to get out all my other items that I want, and as I said, I'm going to try to go for height. A lot of my other items don't really have much height to them besides the buckets, so I'm going to find some stuff that can help give those even more height to help add some levels there to the back. But I'm also going to look for some smaller items, some items that have a little bit of height to help place around them, just to help fill the space a lot. I'm going to pull out some of my little items here, items that I think are going to really scream Tokyo Disney. My theme is going to be Pixar Playtime, and I already have a Tokyo Disney shelf done right now, which I'll show you guys right here. I'll also show you guys this better in my room tour video, so stay tuned for that. But a lot of my items are being used right there, and you guys can see a lot of the height I used and variety in height there. So this is going to kind of be just like the rest of my Tokyo Disney items to kind of help bring that shelf together and help connect it in my room, so it's not just one single shelf. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't speak. So I think this is going to end up being like Tokyo Disney snacks. So this is kind of how I narrow this down. I just kind of like to look at everything. First of all, it's fun to look at everything. Second of all, I want the topic to be the same. I don't want to just put random Tokyo Disney things together. I want them all to kind of go together and look like a cute little display that you would see at one of the shops. If there's like a particular Pixar display, they don't put other Disney stuff with it. It is just Pixar stuff. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. So I'm trying to find items I think go well together or look cute together. So I've narrowed it down to snacks. So I have my lunchbox, my popcorn bucket, a cup. I have some little food figures in here. Alright, so now I'm going to neatly put all my items back that I'm not going to be using in this particular display. I like to keep my little bin of smaller items out because I like to add those in last if I need like some filler items. But first I'm going to place my largest items that I know for sure I want to be in this display. So I'm going to add some height here in the back, helping to fill that space. You guys can see just immediately how big this looks, how much smaller it looks once I add one item. It lowers that gap between here, fills it really, really nicely. I have to awkwardly reach over and grab a popcorn bucket. So this guy here is a pretty good like medium size, and this will also help the tray to not fall over. I like to then perfectly place the strap so you can see the details on it. I don't like to just set it down. I like to make sure it like looks neat. Next I'm going to add some like smaller type things. See how it looks. If I'm not liking it, then I'll just take it out. No big deal. Just trying to figure out like what blocks what's too big on one side but looks better on the other. So even if something like this is like too similar in height, you can even add something else on top of it to help give it more height, to therefore separate it from the other. So let me here just kind of explain what I did. So here's a look at the shelf from farther away. You guys can see I added some height over here, kind of going between that to help fill the space a lot, but nothing's touching each other really. Stuff is close to each other. Stuff just accents each other. These heights are a little bit the same, but they're a little bit different. We have a higher item here in the back. I even opened this up to add a little bit of height so I can put some stuff sticking out of it to help separate it. And then the items that I've placed below kind of help to go between the heights, add that height a little bit, so then that way when I lay the things on the bottom, then it just helps like bring these taller items to life. The biggest thing I keep saying is height. I feel like that truly makes it look like a bigger display, makes it look like there are more items. Okay, I apologize, the camera's a little bit shaky. It's currently on my bed right now, which is so safe. So you guys can see I've added a few more smaller items, again, just to help fill the space. It's truly, to me, about filling the space, not necessarily having a lot of items if you guys are starting to become a collector. It's more about just how you arrange it, how to make it look like there's a lot of items, and how to make all the items like just go together. So this is the Pixar Playtime display. There are a lot more Toy Story items than there are just Pixar items, but some of the other smaller items will help to accent that there are other Pixar characters besides Toy Story. That is just the bigger focus right now. So you guys have seen I went from just Tokyo Disney to food to Pixar Playtime, and if you don't know what displays to make, just look at the items you have and create a display off of that. It could be a specific color, like I did a St. Patrick's Day display and I just put all of my green figures together, or just look up Disney events that are happening right now. I have a flower and garden shelf going on. If there's a holiday coming up, this is a Disney event that is currently happening, or I'm just feeling Tokyo Disney right now. Like I love the merchandise from there, and I haven't had it on display in a while since before Christmas time, so I wanted to bring it back out again. So if you're looking for items, think about maybe what's happening at the parks from items that you have. If you're missing Disney, make a Disney display. If you have a favorite character, then there's another display for you. So those are just some of my tips to kind of how I think of displays. If there's a movie coming out, I have a Mulan display. I have a Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway display up right now. So a lot of the things that I do are based off of things that are happening right now or that are going to be happening here in the future. So now I'm going to be taking all of my smaller items and filling them in. Now I'm not just going to throw them all over the place, and I still don't want to add too many of them because then it just looks too busy and it's just hard to see the entire display and look at all of the items that are in the display. So sometimes I will lay Disney maps down. If I just want it to be more plain, I could just throw some maps down here, do my confetti, and be done. But I have a lot of really cool small items from Tokyo Disney that I want to make sure are included in this. I could do both. I could even hang some maps up here with washi tape, that way it doesn't destroy the map, or the paint on the wall just to help fill the space a little bit better. So there are so many things you could do. There are so many things that I have done before. Again, I can do a part 2 to this video to further elaborate on that, or if you guys have a specific display you would like me to make, that could even be a challenge that I can do. So I'm going to lay these bigger items in these more open spaces to help fill the area, and I have some of these ones that hang, so I can even hang it off of other items. And even with some of my displays, I actually like have a little storyline happening. I know I probably get into this way too much, but some of the items I'll kind of have go off of each other. Like I placed these two guys right here just to make it look like they were playing the claw machine. Like there's just certain things you can place very specifically just to like make it look like a little thing is happening or a little scene is taking place and you just like walked into it, kind of like how Toy Story happens where the characters just stop in a specific pose or something like that. That is things that I have done before as well. A lot of the other Pixar Tokyo Disney items are currently in other displays around my room right now, so this isn't super filled, but for how many bigger items there are, I honestly am in love with it. I may add a map or two, but I think I may just stick with the confetti just to keep it very simple. This will be an easy display for me to then put away later to do my summer Disney World display as well. Some days I just like to keep it more plain and simple. Now we're going to add in one of my favorite things, which is the confetti. This helps bring all of the colors together. I actually got this Mickey Mouse confetti at a Disney parade years ago. They don't really do this anymore. You can't really get this Disney confetti anymore. I'm sure you may be able to find something like it online, or even make little printouts, or if you have like a little Mickey hole puncher type thing, you could even make little confettis that way. This just really fills the space for me. This really helps complete the display. I always do this at the very end because I like to lay it over top of the maps or anything else just to bring it all together. You guys can see all this white space here. It looks very clean and everything, but I like to just fill it. Like I love for it to just feel like Disney just exploded in your face, but it still looks neat at the same time. So I'm going to add these colorful confetti pieces to bring all of the colors together. I see a rainbow of colors happening here, so I'm going to just use some different accent-y type colors. I see a lot of blues, so I'm going to put some blues in there. I don't really see much pink, so I'm not going to use that. There's some reds. I'm mainly going to do here the colors of the Luxo ball, which are the yellow, blue, and red. I think that's a good little mix. Because the rest of my room is like green, so that helps to accent that really well. And here is my completed display. I am actually like in love with this right now. I think it looks absolutely adorable. It's not my craziest display I've ever done. It doesn't have a lot of items in it, so if you're just starting out on a collection, then this is just a fun little example for you. So starting off over here, I have one smaller item hanging out, and then we start to fade into the craziness, so I just have some lightly scattered little confettis. Here's a nice little above shot of how everything is spread out, and then we're going to move over here into the craziness. So we have one of my popcorn buckets, which I actually opened up and put some items inside. I may even add a Pixar Wishable in there just to keep the cuteness all throughout. We have, again, more height. We have these kind of smaller, medium-sized things. We have some bigger things to help fill these larger spaces with confetti surrounding them. We have kind of that transferring height going up here and then back down the other side. We have some other larger items in the center here, but not taking away from the bigger items behind it. These all are kind of level together. So you have the higher things in the back, and then they all kind of start to level out as we get closer. That way you're like looking up it and not like what is going on. We have kind of like my little storyline going on here. We have the characters playing the arcade game, and then we have some more games kind of continuing over here with the lunchbox tying into this bigger item, the popcorn buckets tying into each other, the candy cases all around, the games from this end to that end. There's a lot going on, and I hope all of that made sense. But that is just one of my many displays. That's how I do that specific shelf. So with how I just described this display with the heights and everything, I'm going to show you a few of the other displays really quickly around my room before my room tour, because I won't be able to get too in-depth of how to display a collection, because that's not really what that video is about. So I'm going to do that more in this video right now. I'm going to show you guys some of the other display ideas if you're looking for like a specific shelf space. So for example, if you have a smaller collection like I have laid out over here, I just have some of my bigger items out, and then all of the other things are paper items. It helps fill the space. It kind of gives someone a chance to go over and look at like, oh my gosh, what is this? What are these little things? And the colors all tie in. There's the theme happening. Easter, kind of, they're all on an egg hunt adventure. You guys seen that around the park? I have some items hanging from each other, just again trying to tie in the colors. This then ties in Tokyo Disney. I always now put a pair of ears on the castle. I think it looks cool. It adds some color, it adds some theming. It looks like the castle is decorated. But over here it gets a little bit crazier. You guys can see I use those clear boxes to add height that I got at the Container Store. I hang maps to help fill the space. Like, it looks super crazy, but if you actually look at it from above, everything is super spaced out. So it's more just like how you arrange the items. Like down here it looks like there's a lot of eggs, but they're all staggered. Again, you do that, and they're super spaced out, but then you look at it this way, and it's like, whoa, stuff. Same with this one. I have the tray adding the height, narrowing down to the keychain and the lunchbox, and then getting smaller and smaller. And then since this is my display case, people look down at this particular shelf, so I wanted to add the little food things and other little maps, because if I had those laying up here, they'd be a lot harder to see because no one's looking at it from this angle. So angles are another thing that people kind of reference for this. I hope you guys enjoyed this how to make a display video. I had a lot of fun making it. That's truly one of my favorite things to do here off camera, is make my Disney displays, decorate my little shelves, clean my little shelves. I love to do it so much. If you guys have any other questions or video ideas that you guys would like me to make, leave them down below in the comments and maybe I will make yours. Please don't forget to share this channel with your friends and family. Help me get to 10,000 subscribers. It would really help me out. And as always, remember to do what you love and do what makes you happy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!